4, which is investments in fixed income securities. So when we look at fixed income securities, what we talk about the corporate bond market, which is the largest section of the rupee dominated debt market. Then we have RBI regulates the government securities and securities issued by banks and NBFCs. Non-government securities, which include issue of corporate debt regulated by SEBI. And finally, the primary market for the corporate bond market is said to be the private placement market. So these are the 4 things which are very important when we look at fixed income securities. Features of a bond, if you have to look at, the issuer of a bond agrees to pay a fixed amount of interest periodically, which is known as a coupon, to repay the fixed amount of principal known as a face value at the maturity date. Bonds whose maturity is less than a year are considered to be money market securities. So typically, if you have this situation where I am paying some money upfront and I'm getting regular streams of cash flows going forward, and in the end, I'm also getting my principal back. So this is typically the tenure of the term to maturity, as we call it. So let's say the face value is 10,000 is 1 lakh rupees. At 8%, I'm going to get an 8,000 dividend or 8,000 coupon, which is going to be paid to me regularly during the tenure of the bond. Coupon rate is 8%, so that is what is happening here. And finally, on maturity, I'm going to get the original principal back. So this is what happens when we look at the bond market. So I have paid a par value or a face value of 1 lakh rupees. At 8%, I'm going to get coupons of 8,000 rupees each throughout the tenor. And then finally, on maturity, I'm going to get the maturity amount back. Now, in between, if the bond is either bought or sold, bought and sold rather, so what will happen is the market price could be different. Let's say if I buy the bond after a couple of years and the market price is 1,05,000, then the bond is said to be trading at a premium. And if it is available at 95,000, then it would be said that the bond is trading at a discount. So let's say the coupon rate is 6%. Okay. And the market rate is also 6%. The bonds which will be issued this year, the existing bonds will also get issued at 6%, and the new bonds also are at 6%. So there is no premium or discount which is happening. So what I'm trying to say here is, let's say last year the coupon rate was 6% and the bond has been issued. This year the market rate is again 6%. So the last year's bond will be neither on premium nor on discount. It will be at par. Now let's say this year the market rate has moved up to 7%. So what will happen? Will somebody continue to hold the bond which is 6%? Maybe no. Because now the new investors will be skewed towards buying the newer bond which is there because it's paying a higher coupon rate. So what will happen is the existing bond will get traded at a discount. So though the coupon rate does not change, the market price goes down. Let's take a different scenario. This year, the market interest rates have fallen to 5%. Whereas the last year's bond is still available at 6%. Everybody would want to buy that last year's bond as compared to this year's bond. But will the bond holder sell it at par? No, he or she will not, right? Because they know that they have a bond which is paying a higher coupon, they would want to sell it at a premium. So it is said in market language that whenever a new bond is issued, existing bonds converge to the price of the new bond by adjusting the market prices. Coupon rates cannot be adjusted, so only the market price gets adjusted. And once a new bond is issued, all the existing bonds will net give you the same returns as a newer bond is giving. Bonds with options. Now, bonds can be issued with embedded options like call options, put options, convertible options, and so on and so forth. So let's try and understand what is a callable bond. A callable bond gives the issuer the right to redeem all or part of the outstanding bonds before the specified maturity date. Call provision details are mentioned in the indenture. Callable bonds present investors with a higher level of reinvestment risk. Okay, the issuer will be able to call the bonds before its maturity only in cases where interest rate of similar bonds has fallen in the market. Investors receive fresh value for the bonds before its maturity. Now let's understand this. Callable, as the word indicates, the bond can be called back. Okay, the word callable indicates that the bond can be called back. So the bond is called back. Who's going to call it back? It's going to be called back by the issuer. So basically, callable bonds are the issuer's right to redeem part of the outstanding bonds. That is clear. It cannot be suddenly that you buy a bond and after a year you realize it's a callable bond. That cannot happen. So it has to be clearly mentioned in the indenture. Obviously, if the bond is called back, what will happen? I will get my money back as an investor. Now, can I invest that money at the same interest rate in the market which the bond was giving me? Theoretically, yes. Practically, no. Why? Because already the market rate have gone down, and that is why the bond issuer is calling the bonds back. If the rate was at par, he would not have done that. If the rates were higher, he would not have done that, right? Because the rates in the markets have gone down, he's calling back the bonds because his bonds is paying a higher coupon rate. So technically, practically, it's not going to be happening that the investor who receives cash in his or her account is able to deploy that same money with the same returns. So this is a reinvestment risk which the investor is facing. As we discussed, the bonds will be called back only when the price of the similar bonds in the markets has fallen down. Investors will receive the face value of the bond before its maturity if it is called back. Next is the putable bond. What does this mean? It gives the right to sell the bond back to the issuer at a predetermined price on the specific dates. Who is able to put it back in the market? The owner of the bond, the investor of the bond. So it is the right of the investor to sell the bond back to the issuer. And this is at a predetermined price. So it is again mentioned in the indenture. This guarantees pre-specified selling price at the redemption dates. So there will be a date which will be there. If on that date I wish, I can sell it back to the issuer. So here the risk is lesser or absent on the part of the investor, but the risk exists with the issuer of the bond. So this is the putable bond. Next is convertible bonds. What is a convertible bond? A combination of a plain vanilla bond plus an embedded equity call option. The right to exchange the bond for a specified number of common shares of the issuing company. Now, this is again important. If you have understood any time the different financing options which are available and the choice between debt and equity, etc., which is good, which is bad from the owner of the company perspective. So there are different layers of financing which are there, and each has got its own significance. So coming here, I as a business owner could not raise equity for a certain set of reasons. So I decided to raise money through debt. But I don't want to have the obligation to pay interest and pay the principal amount back. Interest, so I have to by default, but pay the principal amount back. So I eliminate this by putting an embedded equity call option within the convertible bond, so that people who have bought the bond, they are enjoying the interest or the coupons which are being paid to them. And at the end, instead of getting their money back into their account, they are issued certain number of specified shares. And this is the right which can be exercised by the owner of the bond, by the investor of the bond. So it is not compulsory for me to do it. It is the right which is available for me. So this is what is callable bond, putable bond, and the convertible bond. I hope this is clear. Coming to bond yields. So when you look at, if you purchase a bond, you will receive a return from one or more of the below sources. So coupon payments made by the issuer, any capital gain or loss when the bond is sold or matured, income from reinvestment of interest payments, which is interest on interest option, which is there. So two basic things and one additional thing. One is the coupons which I get. That is the way I make money. Second is the capital gain or loss when the bond is sold or matured. That is the second thing. And third, whatever coupons I get, if I put that coupons into another investment, the interest which I get on that second investment will also get calculated. So which is known as interest on interest. Next, you have how to calculate coupon yield. So coupon yield is equal to coupon payment divided by face value. Remember, coupon yield is always calculated on the face value. So let's say the coupon is 8.24%, face value is 100 rupees, market value is 103, 8.24 divided by 100 will become 8.24. So remember, whatever the market price is there, the coupon yield will not change. The coupon yield is simply the coupon payment divided by the face value of the bond. What else is there? Current yield is there. So current yield is the yield which I am actually receiving. Annual coupon rate divided by the current price of the bond. So technically the coupon rate is on the face value. But if I have the bond right now with me and it is traded at a particular market price, which is different from the par value or the face value, and I want to find out what is the current yield I'm enjoying, then I will divide the annual coupon rate by the current price of the bond, market price, and multiply the same by 100%. Then there's YTM, or yield to maturity. This is known as the internal rate of returns of the bond. So if a bond holder holds the bond till maturity, this is the yield which he or she will get. So let's say I bought the bond in the secondary market and I'm holding it till maturity, that is my YTM. If I've bought the bond in the primary market and I'm holding it till maturity, then my YTM is equal to my coupon rate, because I am not getting into secondary market at all. I have bought the bond from the primary market, from the issuer. I'm holding it till the entire period of maturity and then selling it back to the issuer itself. So here in this case, my YTM will be equal to the coupon yield. Current yield for 10 years, let's say is 8.24% bond selling for 103. 100 rupees is its par value. So the annual coupon interest is basically 8.24% multiplied by 100, which is 8.24 rupees, and 8.24 divided by the current market price, which is 103, will take me to 8%. Price volatility of the bonds. So bond with an embedded option, what will happen to it? We discussed this will increase the risk for the investors. Market price of a bond is a function of par value, coupon rate, maturity period, and the prevailing interest rates. We have understood that already. Volatility of the bond is a price of the bond price is inversely related to the coupon. So the higher the bond coupon rate or the coupon, the higher will be the volatility in the price. The lower will be the volatility in the price. Sorry, it is inversely proportional, so it is inversely related. So bonds and the price of the coupon. Sorry, my mistake. The coupon and the bond price move in opposite directions. Coming to the next one. Bonds with higher coupon show smaller percentage of price fluctuations for a given change rate of, or a given change in the interest rates. Because obviously if the coupon is at a higher value, small changes in interest are just a fraction of the overall bond price and bond coupon amount, and it will not change so much. Finally, smaller the bond coupon or coupon bond will experience larger percentage of price changes. Fine. So let's move forward. If a zero coupon bond is also included, it will experience the largest percentage price change. bond price volatility is directly related to the term of maturity. So the longer the maturity, the longer will be the price volatility. As we near maturity, the price volatility goes down. If maturity is longer, bond experiences larger price changes even for small changes in yield. This we have already discussed. Bond price movements resulting from equal absolute increases or decreases in yield are not symmetrical. So an increase and so 1% increase and 1 rupee increase and 1 rupee decrease will not have similar or symmetrical movements in the bond prices. Decrease in yields raises bond prices more than the increase in yields for the same amount of changes. Finally, bond prices and interest have inverse relationships. So this we have again discussed. Determining duration. So modified duration of a bond is a measure of the time taken to recover the initial investments in the present value terms. Interest rate, when the market interest rate levels rise, the price of the bond falls. If the interest rate declines, the price of the bond rises. So it's inversely proportional to the interest rates. So when we look at duration, duration refers to the time taken for a bond to repay its original price or its own purchase price. It is always expressed in number of years. So duration is in number of years. The longer the duration, the more volatile the portfolio returns is in respect to changes in the current interest levels. Unless it is a zero coupon bond without coupons, that is, it is always less than or equal to the bond's overall life to maturity in years. There's something known as reinvestment risk. So reinvestment risk arises when the investor may not be able to reinvest the proceeds, that is the coupons on the bond, at a yield which is prevalent at the time of making these investments.
Mutual fund investments are subject to market risks. Read all scheme-related documents carefully.